Hello everybody and welcome back to the final two stages of the tour, Watopia. Yes, that's right, we did have a rest day which was amazing after 6 stages worth of racing, and now we are back with an individual time trial around Oceania Cliffside Loop, which is actually one of my favourite Watopia courses and a really good one to have an individual time trial on. We basically got a little bit of a flat, and then we've got kind of a, I'd say maybe 1/5 up the epic KOM, and then back down and around. So yeah, it should be a really good one. And if you remember stage 1, which was the first individual time trial, I really struggled with getting the power right on this one. So I went in with a slightly different tactic this time. I went in with a kind of sit around the 240 to 250 watts per kilogram, and then when we get to the actual incline bit, then just really try and do my best and kind of zone 5, zone 6 if I can, try and hold over 300 watts. So that was my plan, and after getting on the bike, the legs actually didn't feel too bad, which was a good sign. I was a bit unsure of what would happen after the rest day. A couple of you kind of commented that you struggled a little bit with this one after having a day's rest. And it's funny how that works out sometimes. So I was a little bit worried before that my legs weren't going to play ball, but we were actually okay now coming up to the little bit of the incline here, and I knew this was going to hurt. So yeah, as you can see by the power bar down the bottom, just, you know, up and around the 300 mark, and I was around about 150th position when I started the incline. But as you can see, I've actually moved up quite significantly, which was good. This was good because it was my tactic, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put the power down when everyone else is going to be resting on this kind of little flat bit at the top here. Well, I say it was flat, it was kind of rolly and a bit snaky through this top side of the map. And I knew also that I was going to be able to rest down this bit here. Now, I don't know if this was a bit of a mistake, but I really didn't put much power down going downhill. Whether or not I should have had a little squirt of power and then just let the rest of the kind of decline take me down. Maybe I should have done that, but it was good to get a tiny bit of rest at that point. And coming through now almost to the end of the lap, I'm 125th, 24th roughly, and I'm not feeling too bad at all, but I know that now is going to be a crucial point to continue to put the power down until the next little bit of incline, but without completely knackering myself out, because I still had a little bit of an eye on the final stage coming tomorrow, but I didn't want to, I don't know, I just really wanted to do really well on this one, following what I did, you know, stage 1. I wasn't really happy with how that went at all. In fact, after stage 1, I was 171st, which is pretty bad, to be honest with you, and it's definitely been my worst stage so far. So as we come through the Italian villas here, I do put a little bit more power down just to stay with these the group in front here. Not that I've got any draft or anything like that, but it was good to have a set amount of people there that I could chase as before. And yeah, so far so good. 42 minutes in, 43 minutes in, and the power and the legs were feeling not too bad at all as we're just approaching the little incline again. Now at this point I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to be able to hold a decent amount of watts because I was pretty tired, but as you can see, I'm still in the kind of red zone here and pushing out a few more watts than I would do on the flats, which was good. So yeah, I know there's going to be roughly just over 10 minutes to go here, so I'm basically putting as much power down as I possibly could to try and finish as high up as possible. And yeah, even at this point I was thinking, well, you know what, it's been a pretty good race anyway. Heart rate wasn't crazy high, you know, around about 161, 162. And that is something that I've noticed with this tour so far. As I continue to do races, you know, every day, I definitely I can feel myself getting fitter. I know, you know, it's not like I've done the Tour de France or anything like that, but it's definitely making me feel much fitter. Now, this person in pink up here really helped me because they kind of dragged me up to the next person. I was just doing my best to follow them. So that really helped as we're coming through here to the final little bit of the course. And yeah, pretty pleasing, to be honest with you, as we cross the line here in 124th position. And we have slipped down the chart slightly to 44th from 41st. But, you know, time trialing isn't exactly my speciality, so I'll take that every day of the week and into the last race Let's see if I can finish in the top 50. Here we go. So we've got Shorelines and Summits. Now this course takes in again the new kind of Watopia around the back end of the Epic KOM, and then it goes all the way back up the Epic, which is, I tell you what, I absolutely love this course. I think it's really good. It's a good mixture of kind of punchy little inclines. It's got 4 sprints, and it's got obviously the Epic KOM, and then we finish up the radio tower. So it's going to be a bit of a brutal one to finish, but you know, what do we expect from the Flamme Rouge Racing Tour? And to give you kind of like a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of a view from me really. I firstly think that this tour has been the best one so far. I mean, I really enjoyed Tour France, which I completed, and I also really enjoyed the Britannia Tour, which I didn't manage to finish, but nonetheless, it was a good one. I would say that probably Tour France was the toughest, I would say, out of the 3 that I've done. And obviously I can't really say much about Tour Britannia, but I think Tour France has probably been harder than this one, just purely for that 5 horseman course straight after the going all the way up Ventop. That was just a brutal 2 days worth of racing. This one, yeah, there was 6 days racing in a row, but actually I felt this one has been I don't know, a little bit more enjoyable because the races have been between an hour to 2 hours. There hasn't been that really kind of long stage. But still, I mean, this tour has been, as I say, like my most enjoyable, I would say, mainly because of the courses. The choice of courses has been fantastic. So really, really pleased with that. And yeah, as we come up to the first sprint here, I'm actually trying not to use too much energy because weirdly, my legs weren't feeling great, which was the first day that I've actually got some kind of bad vibes from the legs early on. So I'm just trying to hold a half decent wattage whilst staying with the front group and not trying to completely bonk, which I thought might happen actually in this one. But we'll just see what happens at the end of this. But yeah, it's been an amazing tour so far. I mean, considering I started the first day 171st, I'll give you some kind of final numbers. So 153 people in my category actually finished at 8 stages, which I think is amazing. And actually half the battle is managing to complete the stages, not only finding the time to do it, but also finding the energy to do it. So well done to 153 people. And actually there were 342 people in my category that did at least 1 stage. So it's obviously a very, very popular series, and considering I think there's 8 or 9 categories, that's a lot of people. I think over 3,000 people kind of signed up for this event, and I know there's been probably around 2,000 that have actually done at least 1 race across all categories. So I think really, really successful. And as I said before, I absolutely love the way this is run. I think they do a really good job with, updating the league tables after every day. The Discord channel is very supportive. So overall, I think it's just been a brilliant tour. And what I'd like to do also is just thank you all for your support, your comments, the comments in the companion app or the comments on YouTube. They really help keep me going. I love chatting to sort of like-minded people who get the whole Zwift thing. Not everyone gets Zwifting or gets indoor cycling, but the people that do, I think, are a great bunch of people. So thanks very much for all of those likes, comments. I really appreciate every single one of you, and for those that subscribe as well, it's lovely to have you along, and thanks for staying along on this journey as well. So just come through another sprint there. I'm not going to mention which one it is. That could be the second or the third, probably the third sprint, and I'm still with the front group at this point, so I am living the dream. And I actually mistakenly sort of go to the front of the pack here, which I sometimes do that, but that's okay. Legs are kind of feeling a little bit sore, but I've still, I know I can empty the tank now because I've got, nothing going on tomorrow, or, it's the final race. And, I do feel like I need to, although I can empty the tank, I still need to kind of hold something back at this point, because I still have visions of that Alpe to Zwift course on the Tour France where I just couldn't move at all. Even the Tour Britannia, where I was going up, I think, one of the Leith Hill or Keith Hill, and I just couldn't move my legs at all. So yeah, one eye on that as we come through. I think this has got to be now the final sprint, thank goodness. And I know that around about here there could be a potential break in the sprint, or in the actual group itself, sorry, after the sprint. So I'm just keeping one eye on that whilst not trying to knacker myself out. But it was kind of as we were coming out here of the kind of new Watopia, or new side to Watopia, that I was hanging on at this stage, and I had to make a decision. And the decision being, do I let this group go and then just try and make up some places up the climb, or do I try my best and just hang on? Now, I knew there wasn't long between now and the climb, so if I let them go, I didn't think it would be kind of the end of the world. And it was at this point I was kind of having a good conversation with my legs, and yeah, my legs were equally talking back to me.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
So on this occasion, I actually did listen to my legs. I let them go off the front there, but as you can see, there's hardly any time at all until we get to the epic KOM, and I've not really lost that much time, have I? However, on this initial kind of incline, a whole bunch come straight past me. So in hindsight, maybe I should have gone a little bit easier during the sprints, but yeah, once again at this point I'm not feeling brilliant, but I know it's going to come back to me. So something that I've learned from this tour is just to kind of set a tempo and just have the confidence that it will come back to me, and it kind of did come back to me. And that is something that I've definitely, I think, done quite well at this tour, and that is not going over and above on these climbs. There was only one particular day where I had how you say diamond legs, and that was on that Innsbruck day where I managed to do kind of all of the little punchy climbs, and then up the Innsbruck KOM at about 270 watts, which I was super pleased with. But yeah, I mean, on this one, well, my watts, as you can see, are building. I'm going from kind of high tempo to low threshold, and yeah, I'm making a little bit of progress. Yes, there are a couple that are overtaking me, but I make a little bit of a surge here and manage to kind of get back onto this group as we come through that kind of little towny bit there. Now, sadly, I may or may not have had some technical issues when it came to the final part of this race, which is I was pretty gutted, to be honest with you, because we're just coming up the final part of the epic KOM here, so not long to go, and all we've got left is the radio tower. So I was pretty happy with my effort up until this point, but what I have actually got is a view of how it was for me to ride up the final part of the radio tower, and then what it was like for me to actually cross the line and complete this race. So as you can see for me here, I'm struggling to continue, to be honest with you, but I'm putting in literally everything I've got left up this last radio tower climb. As I said, currently in 103rd position in the race. I'm just trying to fend off some others that are coming back strong. And what we'll do is we'll pass over and kind of see the footage and the exact moment that I managed to cross the line and finish what's been an amazing, amazing tour. So that's it. Tour Watopia is over. What an amazing tour that was. Oh, absolutely superb. Oh. So here we are, final general classification. I finished 103rd in that race, which equated to me finishing 41st overall. 10 hours, 25 minutes, 32 minutes behind the eventual leader. But I would say mission accomplished. I finished in the top 50, and after being 171st after the first race, I'll take that all day. KOM classification, so I finished up in 72 or 72nd position, so not too bad at all. I'll take that. Not probably my best effort, but there were some really strong riders there. And in the sprint category, I was 82nd, so I wanted to finish within the top 100, so not too bad at all there. Something else that happened during the race, or during the actual 8 days worth of racing, is I actually moved up category as well. So that ITT pushed me back up to a B rider, so I'm officially back to a B. So I just want to say thanks for everyone for staying around, for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.